If you're planning to play a wizard on the Teak TLP server, this video is for you. And the reason why is because the server opens with Kunark unlocked. So you're going to get access to a lot of these spells that are below level 50. And as a wizard, you're definitely going to want them. And there's some good news for you. Okay, so stay tuned. Anyway, if you guys want to see live streams of it, we're going to be live streaming EverQuest on the Teak TLP server. It's going to be over on my live stream channel. Just search the comments on previous videos. You'll see it's the same name, just with live stream at the end. So easy to find. Check us out if you want to watch us play. Okay, so as a wizard, Combine Gate, this is important to get. Obviously, get all the portals. Just get it, Doesn't matter. I mean, you don't have to get the self one if you don't want to. You can get the group one right here. But heck, you may want to go out there earlier for whatever reason. But the biggest spell, the big one to get is Harvest. Harvest is big time because this is one thing you can use as a wizard to gain mana and get them back. Of course, it stuns you for 10 seconds, but who cares? Look at you get quite a bit of mana, and as you get up there, you get more and more mana. And this is one thing you always want to have on your spell bar. You always want to be hitting harvest whenever it's safe to do it. Don't do it in the middle of a fight or anything, otherwise you're going to get stunned for 10 seconds. Okay, so this is Tishan's relocation. It's an evac, which is really nice. It evacs you out to Skyfire, so that's good. And then Markars sends you to Emerald Jungle. That's good too. Concussion is always good to use because you need to drop hate. So you can go ahead and hit them with a nuke and pop concussion right there. Lower that hate so you don't get ripped in half, because that happens a lot with wizards because they're so flimsy. Okay, so another great spell to get, Atoll Spectral Shackles. And nice thing about Atoll is it's a area effect area effect snare. And this is a good one too. It's very, very nice. The area effect is pretty decent. Like you can easily hit 3 mobs in there and bunch them up in a big wad right there. Okay, so they have some nice stuns as wizards, like Tishan's Discord. And if you're soloing, you're definitely going to be using the stuns. In a group setting, you're probably not going to be using the stuns too often, but I'd still keep it up and use it. Droughts are very, very good for using on raids. There's going to be raids where you're going to need to use the drought. Very, very good. I'm going to go over this real quick, but let me show you what the deal with the drought is. Even though it has a -10 only, and you think, well, how significant is that? The weird thing is that these droughts actually land, they feel like they're a lot more powerful than a -10. And the way it goes in EverQuest is the bigger the negative number, the more chance it has of hitting. So if you have a -1,000, that means this spell's unresistible. And some spells, maybe you got a -50, that means it's going to be very, very good. And a lot of times you think -10 is nothing, but it's actually pretty good. So this will do less damage than like your big fire nukes, but it's still good because of the negative. When you absolutely positively need to do some DPS and not get resisted, go with your drought, keep it on your bar. Okay, so Pillar of Frost, here's another thing. I don't really like these kind of targeted AE things. I mainly play this wizard in a group setting where they're fighting one target and they're locking the rest of these things down. You got to be careful if you're in a group and you pop this off and the enchanter has mez like the whole train, or you get 3 coming into the camp and the enchanter mez, and if you cast this thing, you'll break the mobs out of mez and get everybody killed. So that's why I don't really like doing that. I like to just use a single target and assist the tank, and then that's what the thing does. Okay, so you have mana skin, and it increases it's a damage shield and increases mana by 1 tick. Okay, some people like it. 1 tick is not much at this level right there. Abscond is a single target evac, really nice. And you get to Lure of Frost, very good. You can do this here. It's basically the same thing. Tears, once again, it's a target AE. Don't really use it. I wouldn't recommend it. Soloing, yeah, if you can solo stuff that won't rip you in half, then fine. But when you're fighting up at this level 50-ish stuff, you're going to either A, run out of mana, or you're going to get summoned and you get your face ripped off. So just don't do it unless you really, really are ready for this. If you have another group a group that can help you while you use this, then okay. and you want to ask them, can I use area of effect spells? They'll tell you right away, yes or no. Okay, annul magic, absolutely positively get it. Now here I'm going to teach you something about spells. Number one thing, any spell in a wizard line that has the word Alcabor in them, don't buy it. I'm just telling you right now, waste of money. And you will find out, you can look at how much ridiculous mana this costs. Look at this thing. 625. That's crazy. I mean, do they think mana, you have unlimited mana? You're not an NPC. You don't have unlimited mana. Therefore, this just blows. I'm telling you, for AEs, you do this and you're going to run out of mana so fast. It's not even funny. So just believe me now, okay? Do not buy anything with Alcabor in it, no matter what. Here is another story about this Jill's line. I used to love this line as a wizard for point blank area of effect. And you might have seen this in the old days in Old Sibyllis, where they get a bunch of wizards together, they get a bard to pull everything, and they pull it into the camp, and enchanter AE stuns everything, and then the wizards are chain casting the Jills. It used to be in the old days that they all had a different timer, or the no timer. That means you could cast Jill static pulse, Jill's fire. Let me show you. Jill Zephyr of Ice, and there's a fire one that is down here. Look at this. By level 60, you could have 3 in the Jill's line, and you could be popping this off, and they're pretty good because they used to be able to hit unlimited targets. But now, area effect spells have a limit of how many targets they can hit. And in addition to a limited amount of targets, they are on a timer here. So let me see, where's their timer? It doesn't say it, but there is a timer. You can't just chain this anymore. It was one of the biggest nerfs to wizards because they could just you could pile up a bunch of wizards and just roast anything. I mean, shred them to bits, and that was a lot of fun to do. So the Jills no longer is it one of those things, and same with point blank stuns with the enchanter. So you just get one if you can. It's just one of those things you want to pop off once in a while. So you do have some other targeted A's like Pillar of Lightning. Once again, they're area of effect. If you see anything area of effect, be careful. Ask your group if you can use it. This has a stun, a 3-second stun if it isn't resisted. Okay, let's go down here. There's more lures. There's a Tears. Once again, it's AoE, area effect, a Drought. Okay, so this is a single target stun. The Markar's Discord. These are always good because look at they decrease hate in addition to popping a stun off, which is really nice. Let's take a quick look at it, and we'll go down here. And so Markar's Discord here, and you can see what it does right here. The casting time is 3.3. It's a little bit high, in my opinion. I kind of don't like that high casting type of thing, but it is a stun, is what it is. So Eye of Talon is basically the eyeball and stuff. This can be useful. It's great. All the exploits that used to take advantage of this don't work anymore. Evacuate, definitely get this evacuate. The thing is, this thing works very, very well. You're going to get your whole group out of there. Fetter is another better route that lasts a little longer. You need whatever you can. Sometimes these things break just as much as a cheapo route, the very low level one. So you have to decide whether you want to spend a little more. It's kind of like a gamble because it breaks just about the same. In my testing, it seems to break just as much as a regular route, but there are times when it doesn't break, and when it doesn't break, sometimes it can really hold on to a mob for a long, long time. Like the mob doesn't break the check that often, and you can root park something in the corner, which is very, very nice. Okay, so here we go. Let's go down here, and you get, remember what I told you, if it says Alcabor in it, don't buy it. So there's another don't buy it spell. And this kind of thing is inert gravity. And what this is like the enchanter's kind of gravity flux. In old days, you could use this to toss people up to higher areas, and it was really cool back then. But nowadays, they've taken that out. And believe me, any kind of like this kind of gimmick type of spell, not very good at all. But there is something that's kind of interesting, and I tried this before. The flaming sword here. Actually, the thing is this can actually do some damage. if you look at it in a parse, it actually does. It's not bad at all. If you need to do a little damage, go ahead and get that thing. It's kind of nice. Okay, so let's talk about these other things. Finally, at level 60, you get some spells that can hit like a truck. You get good old Sunstrike. Let's take a look at that. And Winds of Gelid, it's another point blank AoE. They're not always the best, but let's go to Sunstrike right now. It has a -10 resist, which is kind of nice on it. At least it's better than nothing. And this thing will hit like a truck because it hits for 1800. That's really nice. Next thing is Disintegrate. Now, Disintegrate, the thing about this is it destroys the target, so you don't get any experience at all in this. But and at the same time, the kind of damage it is a non-melee kind of damage, so you shouldn't be able to take a faction hit at all. But the problem is as you can see here, it comes and it only goes up to level 52. That's what's kind of bad. You're level 60 by the time you're using Disintegrate. And of course, it requires an opal. Not that big a deal, but still, a level 52 mob only, that's kind of like sometimes those mobs are just like whatever mobs. You kill it anyway. So there you go, guys. That's a breakdown for the wizard. Like I said, you can get these spells here, like these lower level ones. You can get them by going to Throne of Vi. You can get them by going to over there if you're an evil class, like a dark elf. So definitely get this at 32 because I've seen on servers some people don't even know, and they're like level 40 or something, and they don't know like, hey, I could have got Harvest or any of these, or some of them don't even know they can go to these places because they just keep playing it like that. And, look at this, you get concussion at 37, which is really nice. Lots of stuff to look forward to as a wizard, and it's a fun class to play, even though it has been nerfed so hard by taking out the Jill's line. But it's still a great class. Hope to see y'all on the Teak server and see you at the next video.